This fanfic is rated PG-13 or T for teens. You gotta be 13 and up to read it. Welcome everyone, my name is Strawberry Tales, and I am the author of the fanfic that I'm going to be reading to you guys today. When Summer Becomes Winter is a Rune Factory 2 fanfic that I wrote when I was about 16 or 17 years old, and I've just recently rewritten it. If you're interested in reading the fanfic ahead of time though, instead of waiting for me to upload a video of me reading it, you can do so via Archive of Our Own or FanfictionNet. Please note though, the FanfictionNet version as of the 18th of March is not finished, but the Archive of Our Own version is completely done. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a reading of When Summer Becomes Winter. Chapter 1. Being a teenager has more downs than ups. Spring 5.
Are you sure this water's safe, Clara?
I snapped out of my daydream and looked up from my reflection and rippled legs to my cousin's distressed face while giggling in amusement and rolling my eyes in annoyance. I'm sure it's safe, though you may feel a few fish swim around your legs and nibble your toes, I replied while snickering. My cousin stood pondering for a moment before lifting the skirts of her dress. She slipped her left foot out of one of her pink designer heels and pulled off her white silky stocking, dipping her big toe in the cool water.
You promise this water's fine?
She said sternly as I groaned in agitation.
It's fine, Leanne. Don't make me push you in,
I exclaimed, causing her brows to furrow in concern.
That's usually Roy who would do something like that,
she scolded with a frown. I sighed loudly, looking down at my reflection again in the cerulean water while reflecting on myself as well. Being a teenager was awkwardly difficult, especially since it felt like I was always being compared to my cousin. Perfect, prim, and proper Leanne. The one who never has a bad hair day, never has a wrinkle in any of her outfits, never makes bad grades, is physically beautiful, and has perfect posture. I do love my cousin. I mean, I'm supposed to. She's family. But the attention that she gets is exhausting. I'm a descent coquille too. I deserve some recognition, even if I am a little different from the norm, right? I couldn't ponder over my petty thoughts anymore when I heard my mother's voice boom out in worry. Clara, where are you? I groaned in annoyance. My mother worried about me way too much. I pulled my legs out of the water and slipped my boots on. Leanne pulled her stocking back on and strapped her heel back on her left foot. I always wondered how she could walk in those things. My feet just hurt looking at them. Nonetheless, I trailed my way home as she clip-clopped her way back to the manor. I turned the knob and entered through the front door of the farmhouse, overhearing my father and Barrett chatting about something. Dad looked over his shoulder from his conversation with Barrett before turning his body towards me. Your mother is looking for you, he said, causing me to sigh and pinch the bridge of my nose. I know, I began, annoyed. She doesn't need to worry about me. I'm 15 years old and I can take care of myself. Mostly, I finished, causing my dad to chuckle. She's your mother. She's going to worry about you no matter what, Dad exclaimed as Barrett nodded his head once in agreement. Yeah, it's the job requirements of being a mom. I'm sure you'll understand someday when you become a mother, Barrett replied with a small smile, causing my dad to become nervous. All right, let's not jump to that. Dad's voice was stern and nervous, causing me to blink at them a couple of times in disbelief before Mom stepped through the front door, making a huge sigh of relief upon seeing me. Oh, thank the stars you're all right. Her long, pale blue-gray hair seemed to become more gray than blue from all the unnecessary worry over me. Though I wish she didn't worry about me so much. Worrying is one thing, but my mom's worry was overbearingly smothering. I was just with Leanne, I reassured her with a sigh of annoyance. She smiled in delight. That's good to hear, she chirped with contentment, knowing that she could ask Leanne to see if what I told her was true or not, and knowing that I wouldn't risk lying. However, no matter what my dad and Barrett say, I don't think I'll ever worry as much as Mom. Plus, there wasn't any point for her to worry anymore. It wasn't like I was going into the dungeons. Though secretly, I did go into the dungeons to get a little workout. Nothing major, the monsters are pretty weak in the dungeons anyway. Spring 6. The morning sunshine's rays splashed my face with warmth while giving me a sense of woe. I squinted my eyes open. A small, lethargic groan escaped from between my lips. It was a Friday, and that meant, yeah, you guessed it, school. At least I'd have a day off tomorrow for relaxation and fun. Fortunately, though, every time I woke up, it was 6 in the morning, which gave me plenty of time to do a few things, like tend to my crops, take care of the monsters, and talk to my friends before school began, things I usually did before our class. I lifted myself from my bed to my dresser and pulled out an outfit for the day. A simple coral blouse and a pair of brown shorts. I looked at myself in my vanity mirror and sighed at how I still looked the same when I was 10 years old. The only difference between then and now was that I had developed some curves, though I didn't particularly like how flat-chested I was. It was probably because I was so athletic, which made me envy my cousin, who had the perfect round bosom. I grumbled to myself, remembering everything about Leanne was perfect. I hope that I'll have a glow-up soon. My appearance as a girl from the Descent Coquille family was embarrassing. In fact, there was this one time that my grandfather lost a traitor because of me. Not only is my appearance not up to standard, but my personality and how I hold myself as well. I took the last step down the stairs, grabbing my school bag from next to the front door. Bye, Mom, bye, Dad, I bid in farewell as I slipped on my boots onto my feet and rushed out the front door. Take care, Clara, Mom exclaimed. I stopped in front of my part of the field, tending to my strawberries, pink turnips, and pink melons. Even if I am a tomboy, I do have a sliver of girly interests. After tending to my crops, I rushed to the academy to meet up with my best friend, Leonel. He was almost always at school first because of his father being a teacher here at the academy. Though Leonel doesn't like helping his dad out with his lessons, he does it anyway. I never understood why he helps out, though he's never really told me why either. I guess he's just a helpful fellow, like his mother. In fact, he was a lot like his mother. Shy, helpful, nervous. But even if he does take after Dorothy, he can be confident like his father. It's rare, but I've seen it a time or two. I've had many passers-by ask me why Leonel, of all the kids in my class, is my best friend. It's a very simple answer, really. His dad and my dad are both very close friends, so are my mother and his mother, and they always have been, even when my dad left to protect Alvarna. I entered the academy and into the classroom. Leonel was by himself, though Barrett probably wasn't far. I tiptoed behind Leonel, watching him pull out some iron, speckled skin, and so on from his dad's tote. He seemed to be lost in thought, so I cleared my throat to make my presence known. This caused him to jump slightly in surprise as he turned his body towards me. He began to sway slightly, something he did when he was happy or excited. "Hey, Clara," he began, his face turning a light pink. I didn't hear you come in. What's up?" I shrugged. "Oh, you know, same old, same old. Worrisome mom, a perfect cousin, an uncle who hates being called uncle," I said nonchalantly as Leonel snickered, causing me to return his laugh. "Sounds troublesome," On the plus side though, at least your mom, dad, and family love and accept you.
Hey, your family loves you too, I scolded, placing my hands on my hips as he sighed in a defeated way.
But I don't think dad really accepts me. I'm too much like my mom. Plus, well, I'm always mistaken for a girl. I think he'd rather have a masculine son than a wimpy loser like me.
Hey, I began in a scolding tone. That wimpy loser you're talking about is my best friend. He gave a sweet smile and began to chuckle.
Thanks, Clara.
It was silent for a moment before I broke it to bid him farewell. I'll see you again at 9, okay? Leolo just smiled at me and nodded his head once, watching me run out of the doors of the classroom. I squinted my eyes in the sun, pondering on what to do for a split second before deciding on venturing to Tree State Forest to fight some monsters.